some fun time just to find out who we are and who the people around us are and why people act the way they act. You know, don't you just wonder sometimes, what is with you? But sometimes it's just personality, and so we're going to hand these out. Somebody's going to hand these out, whoever wants to hand these out. Okay, and I think Pastor David has pins also. And this is just a little test for you to take, and all I want you to do is in each one of these boxes, circle whatever applies to you. Don't ask the person next to you. Do it yourself. Okay? Just circle whatever applies to you. Everything on this page that applies to you, put a circle around it. As soon as pins come wandering around. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start this because it's going to take some time to do it. But what this is going to tell us when we get all done, I will come back to this page and help explain it to you a little better. Okay? So, I call this staying alive in the zoo. Okay? Being in the zoo can be a very dangerous place to live. Sometimes our very families are zoos. And you can get eaten there, or you may be the eat-or instead of the EE. And so we want to find out who you are. So one thing that we want to learn out of this is how do I communicate with a different kind of personality. And love says, I want to know the best way to communicate with you. And so some people like big communications and some people like little communications, and we're going to find out who likes what. So that when you talk to them, you'll know whether to talk a whole lot or just a little bit. And you all know people that you can talk to and you know in just a few minutes they're not listening anymore. It kind of went away. Yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, that person needs a short conversation. Then there's other people that want every little detail. Tell me about this. Okay, so we're going to start out with lions, okay? And the L box that you're looking at is lions. And so lions, what do we want to know about them? Well, first of all, lions are born leaders. So when you get a group of people together, there's always somebody that takes charge. Have you noticed that? There's somebody takes charge. That's the lion. They take charge. And they're very self-motivated. You don't have to tell them what to do because they like to tell other people what to do. So they don't need to be told what to do. And they resist being controlled by others. They don't like somebody controlling them, telling them what to do. And life is a series of problems that they must solve. So, as a lion, I know what your problem is, and I know how to fix you, whether you want fixed or not. And they like to accomplish things with immediate results, like now. Now. How long will it take to do this? Now. And so they like short problems, short projects, okay, that aren't going to take a long time because lions like to get done. They like to get done. And why do they like to get done? Because they want to do something else. And they want to get it done. And they want to do something else. And they want to get it done. Okay? Anybody know somebody like that? Yeah, my dad, my mom. Okay, so they need to accomplish things. And they need to learn to relax or to have fun. It's not a crime or a major sin of any kind. Okay? Because they seem to think that if you have time, then you must have time to do another project. You know, we got all done, yay! And you're going to see how the other personalities respond to that. So their time frame is now, and it's intense. Stay with it. Get it done. And they send out hard side, nonverbal signals. And you say, well, what in the world does that mean? Okay, hard side, nonverbal, they don't need words, signals. And what it looks like is this. Have you ever had anybody look at you that way? And it's like, oh. You got a message though, didn't you? And it wasn't any words in it. My dad was that way. My dad didn't have a lot of words. He didn't use a lot of words. He didn't think it was necessary to use a lot of words, especially with kids. And so my dad would look at us. He would just look at us. And we knew, better cool it. Because if he touched his belt buckle, you were going to get a spanking. So when he looked at us, we came to a screeching halt because we didn't want to go to the next step. Okay, so that is a nonverbal signal. Lions are very decisive. They like to make decisions quick. Okay, let's do it. This is fine. You know, in the other personalities, there's going to be others that they're not going to do so well with that. And so they like to make decisions without a whole lot of input. Okay, they don't want a whole lot of information. They don't want a whole lot of fact. Let's just do it. And when are we going to do it? Now. What are we waiting for? And then it's almost impossible for them to ask for advice because they don't want to hear all of this information. And then it's almost impossible to admit they are wrong. I was wrong. You rarely ever hear that coming out of the lion, that I was wrong. It's like, no big deal, move on, whatever, get away from it. Now, they like Reader's Digest length conversations. And Reader's Digest is a fascinating magazine because I have read books that have been condensed by Reader's Digest into an article, into the magazine. And the whole thing's there, and I never figured out how they did that. But lions like Reader's Digest length conversation, short, to the point, all right? And they tend to have people around them that are war and peace. And war and peace may not mean a whole lot to you, but a few years ago there was a book written. It was about this thick, about this big, about that tall, had 60 jillion words in it. Not Reader's Digest length. They like you to stick to the point. Don't go wandering off down a bunny trail, as we call it. Stick to the point because I just want the information. And when do I want it? Now. And then they want you to be doing instead of talking. Do you realize all the time you spent standing there talking to me about this, you could have been done? Have you ever heard that? Yeah. Okay, well then you're having a lion talk to you when you hear that. And they're threatened by questions. They don't like lots of questions. Can I ask a question? No. But no. But no. Don't bother me with questions. And they often deny the right to even ask one. And lions are not afraid of pressure or confrontation. In fact, they rather enjoy it. Do you know people that rather enjoy arguing? Do you know people that rather enjoy debating? You know, my family, my father's family, was major debaters. We went to Grandma's house on Sunday, and we had Sunday dinner, and then my uncles, my 5 uncles, and my aunt, and my grandfather, my grandmother never got into it because it's such a waste of time to her, argued about cars, Fords, and Chevys. Because part of them were Ford people, and part of them were Chevy people. And they argued, and then they could swap sides and argue the other side of it. And then one day, Uncle Robert did the unthinkable. Uncle Robert drove in an Edsel. Pastor Mark will appreciate that. Do you remember Edsels? Do you remember an Edsel? Yeah. Nobody liked him. So they all got on him. But they loved arguments and confrontations, and they're easily bored, and they tend to roar and make a lot of noise. And they tend to intimidate some of the other personalities. And they often win battles. You may win the battle. You may win the argument. You may win the debate. But did you win the heart? And they often lose the heart. Okay, so if you're anywhere on your paper yet, how many of you circled a lot under the L? Anybody circle a lot under the L? Look around and see who. Look around. Because those are the lions, and you want to be watching out for them. We got 3 lions right here on the front row. Okay, so we're going to move to the next one, and I'll ask you about it when we get to it. So the next one then is the beaver. Here's the beaver guy. All right, isn't he cute? He's all put together, tidy, neat. Look at this lion. Look at the hair on this guy. Okay, so beavers. Beavers keep a close watch on their emotions. Beavers don't like to get really emotional because they are fact people, information people. Okay, so they're reserved, and they're cautious, and they're controlled, and they're sparing with praise. They're the people that no matter how hard you work, you probably aren't going to get an attaboy, attagirl out of them. You're lucky they didn't tell you what was wrong. You know, if they don't say anything, you're well off. Just remember that. Don't feel bad if you don't hear anything out of them. And they have strong commitments to those that they love, but they have trouble communicating it. Beavers are not good communicators. And the reason is that they're so fact-orientated that they have trouble letting emotions go because they might get out of control. You know, and that's just one of the worst things, is getting out of control. Beavers actually read the instruction books. How many of you like to read the instruction book? How many of you read the small print? How many of you know there's small print? Well, beavers know that there's small print. When we got our first computer, my daughter said to me, "Mom, we need a computer." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because it will be so much easier." Myth number 1 about computers. Not true. So we get this huge big box with this computer in it, and we open it up, and I say, "Wow, it looks to me like you plug this here and plug that there, and what are you doing, Sean?" She said, "Well, you got to read the book, Mom." What book? And she drags out this book about this thick, and I said, "And this is easier?" And so she's reading the book, and I'm pushing stuff in whatever hole it will fit in to see how it goes. And I said, "Do you think there's some games or something fun on here?" And she said, "Mother, you haven't read the book yet." And I said, "That's only half of it. I'm not reading it either." And she read the whole thing, and she always knew what to do and how to make it work. Now, beavers are firm like lions, but for a different reason. Lions can be firm because they said so. Beavers are firm because this is the reason why, and they give you at least 12 reasons why they are doing what they're doing. Way more information than you ever wanted in a lifetime. Okay? It can just make you crazy with it. And they're committed to doing what is right. You know, people that always want to do it right, let's do it right. But that takes a lot of time. Just get it done. When do we want it done? Now. How do we want it done? Right. Yes. All right. So let's do it right. And they become hard on issues and hard on people because it's important to them to get it right, no matter how much I have to nag at you, bomb you, argue with you. I want it right. And then they think they're doing things right, makes them God's quality control experts. They really think that God put them here to make sure you did it all right. I did this teaching at Harry and David over in Medford, and I was in this department, and these people were having so much trouble, and come to find out they had a whole bunch of lions, and the lions were eating the golden retrievers, and it was awful, you know. And so we go through the teaching, and when I got to this point and I said this statement, they all started laughing, and I said, "Why are you laughing?" And they said, "Do you know where you are?" And I said, "No, I was just brought into this room. I don't know where it is." And they said, "This is quality control for Harry and David." So they determined if all the pears look good and the candy looks good and all that. So they think that they're God's quality control experts. Beavers make careful decisions. Lions, what kind do they make? right now and whatever I think will work. Okay, but beavers make really careful ones. They're good at thinking through all sides of an issue. So if you know you have to make a decision and you don't know what to do, find a beaver. Because beavers are good at pro and con. There's this side, and they can look at all sides of it. Is this guy going to look at all sides of it? No, he's going to tell you what to do and leave him alone. And don't come back and ask me about it again, because I already told you everything I want to tell you about. Done. Okay, so, and they have good, excellent instincts when it comes to decision making. Beavers do make good decisions usually. Okay, because they have an instinct about it, because they're back to facts and information. And they're not afraid to say no. Now, lions aren't afraid to say no either, but for a different reason. Just because I said so. How many times have you heard that? No. Why? Because I said so. Beavers, no. Why? Well, because of this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and all these 15, 20 reasons that you didn't want to hear anything about. Unless you're another beaver, and then you're very glad, oh, well, yes, that makes sense. I was glad to hear all of that. This one is not glad to hear all that. So remember, talking to a lion, they don't want to hear all that. Okay, so beavers like using their critical skills to solve problems. And they can see small, insignificant problems that lions never have a clue about. Okay, I have a friend who can find the smallest thing. Did you see that? No? What? How did you see that? How did you even think about that? How did you even notice that? But they're detailed people. And they love to read. Beavers are big-time readers. They like to read everything, and they read everything. Everywhere they go, they read everything. They read all the signs. They read the cereal box. They read whatever piece of paper is laying near them. They read everything because they're information gatherers. And they enjoy taking things or issues apart to see what the problem is. Well, what's the problem here? We need to figure out what the problem here is. Somebody figure out what the problem is here. Let's figure out what the problem is here. Let's take it all apart. Let's fix it. Hey, you want to fix it? Do I want to fix it? No. You fix it. Don't tell me how you did either. Just fix it. All right, I will fix it. So I know how to fix it. I'm good at that. So they take it apart. But they're good at taking people apart, too. You know what your problem is? Your problem is, no, I don't want to know what my problem is. Do I want to know what my problem is? No, I don't want to know. But I'm going to tell you anyway, because I'm sure you really do want to know. So here's your problem. You know, you're just an idiot, and I don't even know if that's fixable. All right? And you're not taking time, and you're not getting information, and you're not doing it right, and you're just trying to, you know, and so they just tear people all apart. They don't always know how to put them back together, though. They got all these pieces, but I'm not sure what to do with them. You know, so their bottom line is, well, get over it. You know what's wrong with you. Okay, but there's another personality that knows how to do that. If they dislike you, they don't like you, their perfectionism comes out as a hard, piercing critic. People that they don't like, you know they don't like you, because they can tell you everything wrong with you. Whether you wanted to know anything wrong with you or not, they will tell you because they're sure you wanted to know that. No, I didn't want to know that. You hurt my feelings, made me feel bad. Well, I know you wanted to know that, and it's good for you to know that. You need information. You know, he was being mean to me, telling me, I don't want to hear it. See the difference in personality? No, I just tried to tell you what you needed to do and how to fix that. We had a business years ago, and we had a CPA, Certified Public Accountant, and we had him do our taxes. And So he did our taxes and we paid money, and then one day he called and he said, "Mrs. Winningham, I have something terrible to tell you." And I went, "Oh my gosh, what?" You know, I thought his wife died or something. I don't know, that would be terrible. And he said, "I made a mistake, big time beaver. Made a mistake, worst sin of all. I made a mistake on your taxes." And I said, "Oh, well, what happened?" He said, "You're going to have to pay more." And I said, "Oh, how much?" And he said, $452. Okay. And there's this long silence. And I'm like, "Well, is there anything else, Mike, that you wanted to tell me?" He said, "Well, no." But he said, "I would feel a whole lot better if you get really mad at me." And I said, "Mike, you're doing the taxes for a Christian, a minister. It's to your advantage. Don't push it." But to him, it was the worst thing, see, to beavers. Do you have a question? You wanted what? All right. I love this. This is a golden retriever.
Thank you for coming here.
I'm glad to. Thank you for letting me. You're a sweetheart. Okay, so they keep people at safe emotional distances, which obviously her and I don't. And they can hold as firm as a lion to convictions, but always remember they're for different reasons. And the beaver will always be able to tell you the reason. Now, how many of you in your box now scored high in the beaver box? Okay, look around, because these are going to be the ones that are going to be fussy about everything and want it done right. Okay. Beavers live by the motto, "Let's do it right." They have the strength of spotting what is wrong and wanting to make it right. Beavers are tidy fixers. They're the ones that they just walk up to you and they just have to fix you. They just have to, "Gee, sweetie, did you know you had a hair right there?" I don't. And they just touching and fixing, and they get to your desk and they move all your stuff around and they get it all in the right place where they think it ought to be. And their desk, everything's in its right place. They actually know where things are. They actually can find them. And they just know that that's what you want them to do. Okay. They tend to correct speech and spelling. "Oh, you really meant, oh, that's the wrong word." Have you ever been corrected in your speech? You say something and then somebody says, "Oh, that's not the right way to say it." They just have to tell you. They just have to. They can't help themselves. And they can get really involved in projects and they fail to see how they're affecting the people around them. Okay, but they're involved for a different reason. The lion is wanting to get it done, and the beaver wants to get it done right. All right. Beavers also tend to turn their anger inward. Most are prone to depression and can have physical problems. Lions roar. They get it out. Beavers put it in. Worst sin for a beaver, making a mistake. They do their best work in a non-critical atmosphere. If you leave them alone, they do their best work. You hunker over them. If you try to help them, they don't work well because they're under pressure. And they don't do well with that because they might make a mistake, and a mistake is the worst sin. They tend to slow down. They're afraid to fail. And they're really hard on themselves. You think they can be hard on you. They're really hard on themselves. They need honest praise. Don't just give them fluff. "Oh, sweetie, that was so wonderful. You did such an amazing job. It was just absolutely incredible how you did that." And they're going to say, Excuse me, it wasn't all that great. The lion? Yeah, whatever. Don't bother me with it. And you need to know that it's all right to fail. If you're higher in the beaver than you were the lion, you can fail, and God doesn't stop loving you or anything, and most of the people around you won't stop loving you. There are some who can. Okay, beavers tend to focus on the past. They don't like the unexpected. They're planners. How many of you like to plan something before you do it? Okay, we know Pastor David's big-time beaver, isn't he? Yes. And you know who else is a big-time beaver? Rob Wilson. We did a missions banquet. That man walked around with reams of paper and notes and numbers. And I was amazed. I didn't even figure out how he thought all that stuff. And he had it all down. And it was great. Everybody knew everything about everything. But do you think Pastor Jim wanted to know everything about everything on that piece of paper? That's why he has Rob, so he doesn't have to do all those pieces of paper. And Rob loves all those pieces of paper because he knows exactly what's going to happen and who's going to do what and when they're going to do it. Okay, that's what beavers like. Okay. Now, the next one that we're going to look at here is the otter. Okay, now why do you get so excited about the otter? Okay, otters, everything otters do is related in one way or another to having fun. How many of you scored high in the O box? Oh, you got every one of them too. All right. Yeah, well, Pastor David's got his work cut out there. Okay, so otters just want to have fun. Okay, they want to have fun eating. Do they want to have fun eating? No. I want this, and I only need this, and I'm done. Do they want to have fun eating? No, just do it. Do they want to have fun eating? Yes! Yes! They want to have fun taking a bath. They're the kids that dive into the bathtub. They're the kids that have so many toys in the bath water you can't find the kid. And the whole bathroom is wet when they're done. And they had a great time. And that was one of the greatest baths of my life. And sometimes they have beaver moms. What happened in here? I'm clean, Mom. That's what happened. All right. And they like to have fun doing homework. Now, beavers like it quiet, organized. Otters, they can have the TV on. They can have stuff plugged into their ears, roaring into their head. They can have noises going on. And then they have to have food to help them be able to do their homework. And so they get all the food out. And pretty soon, if they have a beaver mom, where's their homework? It's in this stuff here somewhere. And if they have a lion mom or dad, what do they need to do? Get it done. Get it done right. Get it done? Get what done? So they love surprises and spontaneity. They are the let's go do. Let's do this. Let's do that. They're ready in a heartbeat to do whatever. They need no planning. None. Because, see, they know that the beaver will come along and probably work it all out for them. And otters are great at motivating others to action. And so some of their key phrases are, just trust me. Just trust me. You think this is trustworthy? Yeah. And don't ask me questions like you think I thought this out. Like you think I know what I'm doing. You know, let's take a trip. Yeah, yes, let's take a trip. Hey, let's take a trip. Let's get away from me. Let's take a trip. All right, where are we going to go? How are we going to get there? How much is it going to cost? Where are we going to stay? Where are we going to eat? And how far away is it? I don't know. Let's get in the car and drive till we run out of gas. I don't know. Works for me. And they can captivate an audience or encourage the faint-hearted. Otters have a way of making beavers and lions do things they'd never do on their own. Have you ever been with somebody that said, let's go do this? And you say, no, I'd never do that. And pretty soon you're doing that. And how did that happen? What happened here? It's because you got pulled in by an otter. Okay, so you got to be careful of them. Okay, it was just so much fun. It was so much fun. Yeah, it was fun, all right. Yeah, you're in trouble. Ooh, trouble? Now, our son has some otter in him, and he got grounded one summer for a week, and he never complained about it at all. Not a word. And I said, something's wrong here. Because usually his deal was, Mom, I'll make a deal with you. He was always make a deal. And he said, I'll make a deal with you. And I said, okay, John, what do you want to do? And he said, how about if to the end of the week, this is like Tuesday and he's grounded till Saturday, how about if every morning you just spank me and let me go? Are you kidding? You think I want to start every day beating on you? Yeah, beat the kid and ground him too. So that he's really quiet about this grounding, and I can't figure out what it is. And all of a sudden I walk out the door, and he's got 4 friends standing outside his bedroom window. One has brought him pop, one has brought him candy, another one has brought a little player along, and they were having music, drinking pop and eating candy, and he was having a good time. And so was his friends. I said, shut the window. Now. And if you open that window again, you're going to be grounded for 4 years. So otters avoid the fine print. Their question is, what fine print? There's fine print? Why would there be fine print? What's it for? You don't need it. You know, if you really want me to know something, it'll be in bold print. Big. 3 words. Okay, so otters focus on the future. They rarely think problems are as serious as other people think they are. Does this person think they're serious? Ooh, yes. Does this person think they're serious? Yes. Do I think it's serious? Oh, probably not. Probably not. And they're very optimistic. It'll get better. It'll work out. It'll be all right. That's their terminology. Well, what's going to be all right? How's it going to be all right? Well, I don't know how it's going to be all right. I just know it's going to be all right. Don't be so uptight about it. Because they think everything will work out eventually, and there is a matter of truth to that. It does work out eventually. Not the way this guy wants. He doesn't care. Just get it out of the way. Okay, no problem. Tomorrow will be better. Don't worry about it. 99% of the problems, past or present, just need more time. Just give them more time. It'll work out. You know, I don't want to talk about it because they're non-confrontational. Who likes confrontation? Do these people hang out with these people? No way. We don't want confrontation. These people, well, at least when they confront you, they can tell you why. This one just roars at you. So the guy that started this kind of teaching, he was an otter, total otter. And he married a beaver, total beaver. And the beaver wife said,
I want to be a godly woman, and I want my husband to be the head of the house, and I want my husband to handle all the finances. And so he has everything, checkbooks, everything. And after about 2 months, these checks start bouncing, because do otters write this stuff? Nah, just write another check. It'll work out, you know. Somebody will put some money in the bank. Well, beavers write things down to the penny. And so she said to him, what happened? Now, they don't like confrontation, remember. What happened at the bank? Honey, it's all taken care of. Don't worry about it. I fixed it. How did you fix it? I just went to another bank and opened another account. So they try to fix things ahead before they get into trouble. And they have a tendency to procrastinate on hard decisions. Okay, beavers love decisions because then they get to gather all kinds of information and make a really good decision. And so they love that. They do not like decisions. They really like to be with people that just make the decisions, or else that we just do it without a decision. To them, just do it. If it's fun, just do it. You know, we don't need all that other stuff. Okay, now otters are tremendous networkers. Otters love people, and they don't care where they are. Otters can drive down the road. Yeah, there's a yard sale. People, let's go. We weren't going to the yard sale. We were going to the supermarket. But there's people. Let's stop. Screech. Into the masses they go. Now, they're great networkers, but they don't network really deep. Everybody is their friend, okay? Everybody. That's my friend. So their friendships go about an inch deep, but they're spread wide. And so they go to parties. They're the fun guy in the party. Whether they were invited or not, you know, it doesn't matter to them. You know, it's just, let's have a party. You're having a party? Yes, I'd love to come. You weren't invited. I would love to come anyway. Can I come, please? Can I come? They do. You're right. So they have the ability to bring people together that normally wouldn't come together. They can get beavers and lions to come together, and golden retrievers, because they just assume that you all want to be together. So we go into a restaurant. Beaver's sitting at his table because I like this table because it's in the place that I want to be. I'm sitting here because that's where I'm going to sit. Hey, come and sit with me. Can I sit with you? Can I sit with you? Why do you want to sit with me? I got to have information here. Because it would be so fun. I'm not sure. Can I sit with you? No. Go sit at your own table and do it. When? Now. All right. Meanies. So they just keep looking around until they find something. You want to sit with me? Can I sit with you? You want to sit with me? Can I sit with you? And then they find another otter. Yay! And now I've got a new best friend. Not just a slight acquaintance that I don't even know their name. Most otters don't know their friends' names, okay? Because they have so many of them. And they never meet a stranger, never. They talk to everybody everywhere. My mother was kind of like this. We could stand in the line at the grocery store, and she's talking to this lady in front of me, and I'm looking at this lady, and I'm thinking, I've never seen this woman before. I wonder who it is. And so they're talking about crocheting, and then they're talking about yarn, and then they're talking about us going to her house, to her garage, to get some yarn that she doesn't want anymore. And I'm thinking, who is this person? And so I say to my mom, who is this person? My mom says, I don't know. I just met her in the grocery line, but we're going over to her house and get yarn. Oh, all right. They never meet a stranger. And otters are very susceptible to peer pressure because they want to be liked and they want to be a part. If you want to break the heart of a otter, don't invite him. Don't let him be a part. Oh. Hurts me so bad. Well, here's the reason that they don't want you to be a part is because you're such a wild thing and they never know what you're going to do. Now, why would they want you to be a part anyway? Because it's just the way I am. I'm fun. They don't know what they're missing. They do know what they're missing. Okay, then there's the golden retriever. That had a little bit of a lion sound to it, didn't it? Okay, golden retrievers are loyal. Okay, if you have a golden retriever friend, you have a friend for life. They make friends for life. Do they make friends for life? They don't even know how long that friend was there. They don't even know who it was. They don't even know where they met them. They don't know if they'll ever see them again, but they're my friend. Okay? But golden retrievers, they know everything about their friends. They know things that they like. They know things that are special to them. They know details. Now, golden retrievers make deep friendships. Lifetime friendships. Otters, remember, inch deep, mile wide. Golden retrievers may have one or two really deep friendships in their entire life. And so they can absorb the most emotional pain and still maintain their commitment to another person. The negative side is being codependent, that they need me, whether they need me or not. You need me. Yes, I need you. What do you need me for? I don't have a clue, but I do. You need me. No, I don't. Here's the reason why I don't need you. I can give you all the... What are you talking about, needing you? See? So golden retrievers kind of get beat up at times, it seems like. And then they have a need for strong, close relationships. Remember the otter? Inch deep. Golden retrievers, deep but few. They know amazing details. Golden retrievers, you can go shopping with them in January, and you say, oh, blue is my favorite color. Look at those flowers. I would love to have a vase like that. Christmas comes. What do they get? Right. And something blue. They remembered all those little details. It was just a conversation. Do I remember what you said in January? January of what year are we talking about? No, I don't remember. Do I remember? Yes, I remember, but I don't intend to buy you a vase, and I don't care if you have blue or not, quite frankly. I don't really think that you need to have another vase. You probably have more vases than you need already. And what would you do with a blue vase? Because you don't have anything else blue in your house. Lion, what's he going to say? Are you kidding? What's the deal with this? Golden retrievers have a deep need to please others. They have a genuine desire to please or to help. And they're willing to set aside their own needs to help somebody else. And so golden retrievers are always watching, seeing where they can help, seeing where they can comfort. Golden retrievers are the ones who end up at the party. Same party that the otter's at. He's having a wild time. He knows everybody. He's talked to everybody. The golden retriever has ended up in the corner with one person who's pouring their heart out to them all night long. And they will pray for that person and remember that person and call that person. Do I know who this person is? No. What person? What corner? What house was that? And they have hearts of compassion. They feel all the hurts of others in their hearts. They feel for you. That's a person that can feel for you, have compassion for you, want to help you, want to comfort you, want to do something to help you. They have incredible sensitivity. They see the person that's feeling bad. They see the person that's left out. They're just scanners. And then when they find that person, bing, they lock in on them. And they're all done with everybody else. They'll give you the shirt off their back. They'll give you anything that they think that you need. They need to be respected for their deep capacity for caring. When you want somebody to care, when your feelings are hurt, and you want to talk to somebody, is this who you go to? No. No, because he'll just say, don't worry about it, it'll all be better later, what's the deal, you know? Just have some chocolate and you'll be all right. Is this a person you're going to go to for comfort? Well, I'll tell you how you got into that, and I'll tell you why you feel that way, and I'll tell you what you need to do about that. And is this the person you want to go to for? We'll just won't even bother them. This is the one you're going to go to, isn't it? Why? Because they're going to listen. They define the word adaptable. Okay, they're the ones that bring harmony into the family zoo. They're the peacemakers. They're the ones that take this mad person or this beaver and lion, and they almost always marry lions and beavers. Okay, and lions and beavers almost always marry otters and golden retrievers. Why? Because what would happen if a lion married a lion? Yeah, what would happen if a beaver married a beaver? We can tell you 49 reasons of what will happen. And what happens if an otter marries an otter? We're married? When did we get married? So the golden retriever, they're the ones that are the peacemakers in the family. Okay, so golden retrievers often react to sudden changes. They like preparation. Remember, the beaver liked preparation, liked information, but for a different reason. They want information so that they know how to make a decision. Golden retrievers, their desire for information is how it's going to impact people that they care about. Okay, so for example, the lion says, we're moving to Pennsylvania. The otter says, yeah, let's go. The beaver says, yeah, what are we going to do? Where are we going to live? What kind of a job are we? What are we going to have? And the golden retriever says, but what about the lady next door that I take care of? What about my Sunday school class? See, that's how it affects other people, affects them. So this is the person you want. They feel hurt when left out of decisions because they're usually married to lions and oftentimes otters. And they get left out. Why? Because the lion's going to make the decision. Is this person going to battle the lion? No. Never for themselves. But for somebody else, yes, they will. They will fight for somebody else. And so they get left out. Well, I just told you we're going. I just told you why we're going. Hey, we're just going. Okay, we're going. So they oftentimes have to go along with something that they had no part in making the decision to do that. They need extra time to think about family changes. Is the lion going to give extra time? No. Is the beaver going to give extra time? Are you going to give extra time? Time. I'm packed. I'm ready. But they need time. So golden retrievers hold stubbornly to what they feel is right, and that is where they will put up the fight. But remember, never for themselves. Always somebody else. And a lot of times people think they're wimps, but they're not. You have to be strong to live with the rest of these people in the zoo. And they will put their lives on the line to back up their convictions. How many golden retrievers did we have? Lots of golden retrievers. Okay, so now on your paper, if you've gotten everything, line around, circle around everything, down at the bottom of the box. All right, down at the bottom of the box, it says a number times 2. So count how many you circled in the L box, times it by 2, and write it down. Yes? Well, good for you. Good job. Now, you take those numbers in the box and you move them down to the graph. You know how to make a graph? So you put the number under the L, you find the number, make a little dot. You find the number under the O, make a little dot. Find the number under the G, make a little dot. Under the B, make a little dot. And then run a line dot to dot. Connect the dots. Okay? Now, if you've got all the dots connected, how many of you were still high in the L? How many high in the L? Okay. How many high in the O? Yeah, lots of them. How many high in the G? Lots of golden retrievers. And how many high in the B? Okay, so the goal here is that the line is fairly straight. Uh-oh. See? Yeah. So where it goes up, that means that you're stronger in that, and you need to learn how to bring that down. Goes way down, you need to bring it up. Because in order to have a balance in your personality, you need to have a little bit of all of these, and not just take one and say, well, that's the way I am. Too bad. You know, that is not acceptable to God. How many times we try to tell God, that's just the way I am. And God says, stop, change. All right, God can be a lion. He can be a beaver, an otter, and a golden retriever. Yes, yes. And so, if we have a balance in our personality and our relationships, we're going to have them too. So, Jesus had the strength of a lion. He was decisive and a leader. Remember, he came into the temple and he told them how it was. And it was straight to the point. He was kind of a little more than that at times. I mean, when he called the priests and Pharisees snakes, you know, that wasn't really hurt somebody's feelings, probably. Jesus had the strength of the beaver. He did it by the book. Okay, he said, I have nothing of my own to say. I have nothing of my own to do here. I have only to do what the Father has sent me to say, and only to do what the Father sent me to do. And he did it by the book. He made no mistakes. He didn't leave anything out. He did it absolutely perfect. Now, Jesus had the strength of the otter. He loved celebration and crowds. What's the first thing that we know that Jesus went to? Yeah, and he went to a wedding, didn't he? And then his mom got him into winemaking. You know, my goodness. But he went to a wedding. He fed the 5,000, and I've often seen, God, how do we see Jesus as an otter? And he said, think about it. Think about sitting on the side of a hillside, and you got 5,000 men, plus women and children, so you probably got 10, 15, 20,000 people sitting there, 20,000 people sitting there, and the otter could not send them away. The disciple says, send them away. They're getting hungry. They're getting cranky, and get them out of here. And so Jesus says, feed them. Feed them. Yeah. You gotta be kidding. Do you realize how many people there are here? Do you realize if we just had a piece of bread for each one of them, how many loaves of bread it would take? Do you realize how much it's going to take? Do you realize that we don't have any money? There must be a lunch somewhere. find it. Here it is. Here's lunch. Yay! Lunch! It's a little teeny box with a couple biscuits and some dried up fish in it. What are you talking about? Just watch. Just watch. See, because I believe that Jesus had preached to those people and he had taught them, but he had not touched them yet. He had not walked among them. He had not gone out. And these were the people that came and sat for hours and listened to him, and he could not just walk away. He just had to come by and say, I'm so glad you came today. And I believe that he walked among people and touched them and talked to them and healed them and who knows what. But that otter could not let that crowd go without being a part of that crowd. So Jesus had the strength of the golden retriever, always going deeper than the surface, faithful to keep promises, and loyal all the way to the cross. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, Pastor David.